Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Bremont Boeing Model 247, a titanium GMT. You can see and you can own this aerospace watch brand aerospace partnership timepiece on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this Bremont Boeing Model 247 titanium GMT chronograph. The watch on my wrist represents one of the more logical partnerships in which Bremont has engaged. Does a company that makes luxury watches necessarily need to associate with major motion pictures? Not necessarily. Does it need to associate with motorcycles? Not when it's known primarily as a pilot's watch. Does it need to associate with Jaguar cars? Strictly speaking, probably not. But a partnership with Boeing, that makes sense, and if it's on the table, don't let it run. The watch on my wrist represents a meeting of the minds between the folks from Seattle and the folks from London. Bremont and Boeing combining for a watch that is memorable, easy to wear, and functional. A timepiece that appeals even if you're not into aviation. The watch is 43 millimeters across the round of the case, not including chronograph pushers or crown. 43 is large, but across the wrist, 51.7 millimeters means that you can wear this watch, in my estimation, on a wrist as small as 14.5 centimeters in circumference. Part of that's the lightness of the titanium, part of it is the short lug-to-lug dimension, and part of it is the Bremont case shape, which frankly does a great job of separating the lugs from the structure of the case band. The watch is thick, however. There's no getting around the fact that this is 17.6 millimeters thick, and it's probably not going to clear any kind of cuff. Well, you could argue that the watch is designed to be worn over a flight suit. I would argue that it's more likely to be worn with short sleeves by armchair aviators. Nevertheless, the ergonomics are excellent. Now, I mentioned that the watch features a unique case form. This is the Bremont triptych case, separated into the mid case, the lug structure, the bezel. The timepiece essentially breaks the case away from the lugs so that they can be draped around the wrist as a separate structure, and it works well. You'll also note that the strap is very substantial, but it's light in weight. It is a polymer known as the Seattle strap, named after the home city of Boeing. Of course, it is rather subtle despite being physically huge. Sheer cut with large flanks. It has a textile pattern to it, and it has a contrasting blue stitch referencing the Boeing company and Boeing blue. Of course, on the underside it features the same, and it features a simple low-profile Bremont pin buckle with a combination of polish and satin finish. Handsome, easy adjusted, perfect for a sports watch. Now you'll note, unlike some Bremont watches which use spring bars, this one actually secures the strap to the case using hex screws. So a very secure fitment. This is how it should be on sports watches designed for vigorous activity. I've never trusted spring bars, and I believe that if a watch in this price range can have screws, why can't they all? The mid case features horizontal striations to break up the mass of metal and a DLC coating for durability. The titanium itself is actually aerospace grade 6-4, that particular alloy of titanium being used by Boeing in aeronautical applications, and from a personal standpoint, it's also what you see on truly hardcore titanium racing bicycles. Now you'll note there is a bidirectional rotating bezel with a ceramic inlay. This is an aviation style bezel. It's not designed to save your life in a dive because it can move in either direction, therefore it could extend or shorten a dive accidentally, but what it will allow you to do is, especially in conjunction with the chronograph, and these are screw-out chronograph pushers, it'll allow you to time an interval, whether you want to time a period of seconds or you want to align with the minutes hand and time a period of minutes. You can align it with the hour hand and time several hours, or if you want to align it with the GMT 24-hour hand, now you can time a full day cycle, one rotation of that yellow index equating to 24 hours. So you have the versatility of a second concurrent timing device up to whatever unit is used by the hand in question. You also have a tri-register chronograph, hours, minutes, and seconds. The dial is surprisingly well done, with a few flourishes of color, blue and yellow, common sense white on gray printing and white on black printing. You have a number of tones, planes of focus, as you can see all the sub-registers are sunken, as well as applied indices for the hours and plenty of luminescence that you'll be able to read the watch easily in low or no light conditions. Also note how the hour and minute hands have been darkened to nicely blend in with the backdrop of the dial, and you can see the 24-hour scale outboard of the hours for reading the GMT hand. And at approximately 4:30, you have a discrete date window. This is everything you need: hours, minutes, and seconds from the chronograph, the time of day, the date, and a second time zone. The watch is also a tactile pleasure, light in the hand, comfortable on the wrist. There's a satisfying detent to the bezel in both directions. The knurling is an absolute pleasure to use, being a rather unique sort of cross knurling, almost like a diagonal grain, but deep and sharply cut. It really grips the skin. It aggresses against the fingers and allows you to get a secure purchase. And I mention it because it's also present on the crowns, which are screw-down chronograph pushers and a screw-down crown for winding and setting. Now you pull the crown out to extremity, you can hack the watch, stop the seconds, synchronize to a timer or a known accurate reference time, pull it to the intermediate position, and you get a quick set for the date, as well as a quick set for the second time zone. On the case back, you can see that Bremont is using a Valjoux 7754, which is the dual-time version of the 7750. This one, however, is nicely decorated. As you can see, there's engine turning, there are blued screws, there are polished and contrasting matte or grained finishes. There is the turbine-style rotor. There's also 100-meter water resistance, so although this is an aviation-inspired timepiece, this is a great all-arounder. A sports watch for every occasion with a securely fashioned strap, a rugged, lightweight case with a hypoallergenic metal composition, a dual-time, a chronograph, and highly water-resistant. 100 meters essentially suitable for all activities short of professional diving, with a COSC-certified chronometer grade of caliber, and that includes everything from the power source to the hairspring and the balance. The watch also features an anti-shock system, as you might have noticed, and you might have noticed the same, the anti-shock symbol at 6 o'clock. That's Bremont's symbol for a watch that features elastomer isolators for the movement itself to brace it against impact and concussion on the wrist. So not just versatile, but also durable. You can see and you can purchase this Bremont Boeing Model 247 Titanium GMT chronograph on our website. Hey, it's also made in London. How cool is that?